The flooring saga continues.
I mean, can you even? This looks like a custom home now. Like, builder grade who? Builder grade where? Builder grade what?
Hey homies, and welcome back to Kayla Simone Home. I am your favorite homegirl, Kayla Simone, and in today's video, I have a very long awaited, very highly requested, probably honestly my most highly requested video of all time, and it is a review of our gorgeous flooring. I am so in love with these floors, y'all. Like, I spent so much time during the build process trying to find the perfect floors. I had a very specific set of requirements. I wanted laminate or LVP, no engineered hardwood. I needed it to be waterproof and durable. I wanted long planks with an invisible seam, a light oak wood with a kind of like warmer tone to it without too many knots or color variation, and I needed it to be under $5 a square foot. So with a ton of research and a little bit of luck, I not only found the perfect floors, but also the perfect company to install them for me. So I will get more into that in part 2. I will tell you guys all about the installation process, hiring it out versus DIYing it, what our pricing breakdown was, how much money we saved by not having the builder install the floors for us. But for today's video, I really want to get into how I found these floors, my process for making sure that I was going to love these floors for the entire time that we lived here, and give you guys my best tips for how you can make sure that you're making the right decision when it comes to such a big purchase like choosing flooring for your home. When building a house or renovating, flooring is typically the largest portion of your design budget, and rightfully so, because it covers the most amount of space. And since it costs so much money, I knew that the floors were a decision that we literally could not afford to regret, because we don't ever plan on replacing the floors in this house. And growing up in Virginia, we had true hardwood floors in our house, not even engineered hardwood, like actual hardwood planks. And I can't tell you how many times I heard my mom complain about scratches on the floor or water damage, and they just really seemed super high maintenance to me. And her voice being mad about her floors getting messed up is ingrained in my memory at this point, lives rent free in my subconscious. So I knew that that was not something that I would want to deal with. In our last house, we used Mohawk Revwood flooring, and we loved it so much that we knew that we wanted it for this house also. Mohawk Revwood is a highly durable, water-resistant laminate wood plank. We've tested its durability plenty of times over the last 4 years, with Ginger constantly running around, sliding her nails across the floor. We let her play with snowballs inside of the house, and there's also me, of course, constantly, dragging, pushing furniture across the floor, DIYing, dropping things, and still our floors remained 100% intact. Another thing that really stood out to us about Revwood was the sound, or I guess technically the lack of it. It didn't make that click-clacky sound when you're walking across the floor. Revwood is a laminated wood plank, meaning that it is a WPC core. So it's a blend of wood and polymer that is covered in a layer of laminate that protects it. That's what gives you the water resistance, the scratch resistance. But the inside itself, because it's made of wood instead of plastic, it has a little bit more give to it. So it's softer underneath your feet. It provides more insulation for sound and for temperature in your house. It doesn't feel cold like tile or like some plastic LVPs do. LVP, or luxury vinyl plank, has a core that's made out of plastic. LVP is usually thinner and a little bit more flexible than laminate planks are, and because of that, that's what gives you a little bit more of that little click-clack sound when you walk on it. It is almost always water resistant though, because it is made out of plastic and you can get it for relatively cheap. The cheap price point will cost you though, because those cheaper LVPs, in my opinion, never end up looking as realistic as some of the other options. When I was searching for floors, all of the LVPs that I found that I actually liked were double my budget, getting close to the $10 a square foot price range. And at that point, I could have just gotten engineered hardwood, so it didn't really make sense. Newer, more expensive styles of LVP flooring are rigid core, usually SPC, meaning that they have a core made of stone, plastic, and polymer. These are a little bit more resistant to denting because of the harder core, but it also makes them less comfortable to stand on for long periods of time. Both types of rigid core floors, both WPC and SPC, are solid planks, so they're not bendable like your more cheaper types of plank flooring. They're water resistant or sometimes waterproof. They're very durable, so they're perfect for households with kids and pets. And both come in a wide range of styles, colors, patterns, so that they can mimic natural wood flooring. In the end, we were confident in our decision to use Revwood flooring again because it just looks and feels so realistic, especially in comparison to LVP, like I mentioned, that was around the same price point. Revwood is also made in the US, it's planet friendly, and it's carbon negative. For every square foot of flooring that Mohawk sells, they contribute to planting a tree through their partnership with the nonprofit organization One Tree Planted, whose focus is global reforestation, conservation, and protection of endangered forests around the world. Also, I hate when influencers do this, but like, this video isn't sponsored, by the way. I just feel like I need to throw that out there. I hate when people give that little disclaimer because it's usually followed by something like, I really do like this product. And it just kind of makes you think like, well, do you not like the products that you do advertisements for? Like, do you not like your sponsored products? And that's never the case with me. Y'all know I'm one to tell the truth. And if I don't like a product, I probably won't even make a video about it. So you never have to worry about that. But because I'm giving you so much information about this product, I do feel like I need to disclose this isn't an ad. This is just all the research that I did. And I genuinely love our floors, which is why we have paid full price to put them in our house twice now. In fact, I actually did reach out to Mohawk multiple times, and like, I look a little bit like a stalker because if y'all could see the number of times that I have DM'd them on Instagram and those messages have gone unanswered. Please just message me back, Mohawk. I love you. I love your floors. Anyway, once we knew we wanted Revwood, the next thing that we had to decide on was which tier of flooring were we going to get. Revwood comes in 3 levels: Select, Plus, and Premier. Revwood Select is the lowest and least expensive tier. I personally don't really like Revwood Select because the beveled edges give it more of what I like to call like a grout line look, and that's just not my jam. Also, you can't mop or steam mop the floors because the water resistance isn't as great as what they use on their 2 higher tiers. And also the warranty or like a guarantee for, I think, like durability and water resistance is only 10 years as opposed to a lifetime guarantee. So I will say though, I've had plenty of people message me on Instagram and let me know that they have Revwood Select flooring and they've never had an issue with any of those things. So I think that it's still a great product, but just me being me, if there's something better out there, I'm gonna shoot for the stars. Okay, I want the best of the best. Revwood Plus, which is what we used in our last home, used to be the highest tier until they introduced the Premier, which we'll get to in a second. Revwood Plus is also water, fade, scratch resistant, just like the Select line, but you can mop and steam mop this floor. It has Genu Edge locking technology, which carries the design on the planks all the way to the locking edges for a very seamless look. And when you look at the floors with Genu Edge, you can barely tell where one plank ends and the next one begins, so you don't have that grout line look. A few of the collections in the Plus line also have really long planks. They are almost 10 inches wide and a little over 80 inches long. The larger, longer planks really give a beautiful look to your home because there are fewer seams, and the fewer breaking points that you have, that makes your home feel even larger than it actually is, because it allows your eye to continue down the length of the plank for longer rather than it being chopped up. But it's like a subconscious thing. Like, you don't even realize that you're doing it. You don't have to try. It's just how your brain is processing what it sees. And so the long planks are perfect for large homes or open concept spaces where you have a lot of open, clear space to be able to see your floors. With the Premier line, the look of the flooring gets even better with Mohawk's signature technology that makes the planks look ultra realistic and imprints a texture onto the surface as well, so that the flooring isn't just a flat image of what wood looks like. it actually has a 3D element to it, and you can feel the ridges and the curves and a little bit of the knots that you're seeing in the wood. So for obvious reasons, we were really only interested in the Mohawk Revwood Plus and Premier. We knew we didn't want the same exact flooring as what we had in our last house because that was just a little too gray, and we wanted something with more of a warmer wood tone this time around. So I ordered a bunch of samples from Mohawk. This isn't even all of them. I got rid of the ones that were just like so off that they weren't even in consideration. But in the end, I still pretty much ended up not liking any of these. So tip number one, get as many samples as you possibly can, even if that means that you're paying $5 per sample plus shipping, even if it means you have to order like 20 samples and then still end up not liking any of them, even if it means that you are starting to feel crazy and you're just like, damn, I should just go ahead and pick one now. Order the samples. In the grand scheme of paying for new flooring, the amount of money and time you'll spend on getting samples is literally, it's nothing compared to the costly mistake of getting a color that you never saw in person, don't love, end up regretting, and that you'll still have to live with because who's paying for new floors twice? I know I certainly am not, and I would hope that you're not either. When I ordered my flooring samples online, they sent these small cut pieces of planks, which is nice. You can kind of see what you're working with. But when I had Floor King, the company that I used to install the floors, order samples for me, they came on these nice big display boards. Tip number two is to look at the samples in different lighting. These sample boards looked so different in our rental home versus in our new home, which is why it's so important to get your own samples and look at them in the actual place that you'll be installing the floors, and not just look at samples in the store. Keep in mind the colors of the floor will change depending on if it's daylight versus nighttime and you only just have interior lights on, or if it's the time of day. Different rooms get different amount of sunlight. The lighting will change depending on if a room is painted white versus if it's painted black. So it's really important that you look at the flooring sample at different times of day and in different parts of your home if you really want to get the truest look at what the floors are going to look like. So after ordering all of those samples and multiple trips to Floor King, I'm sure you're like, okay, you had to have found one by now, right? Wrong-o. After I'd ordered all of those small samples, I was kind of starting to give up hope a little bit because I just could not find any color that I really loved. And the only one that I thought like this is the perfect color was Sand Dune, but I couldn't go with Sand Dune because Sand Dune was Revwood Select. So, you know, warranty, grout line look, it just was not an option for me. So I was kind of at a loss. I didn't know what to do. I decided to go online just one more time and scroll through all the options that Revwood had to offer because I was like, you know, maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something else here. And I kid you not, they came out with a new collection of flooring that same day. At this point, we are like weeks from having to select the exact flooring that we want. And so this was just like, like completely heaven sent that this collection came out just in time, and they had the most perfect colors. I know that I'm being so dramatic right now, but I truly feel like the stars aligned for me to get these floors. The only issue was that because they were brand new, there was no way for me to order a sample on the website. However, Mohawk does have kind of like an AI visualization tool on their website that allows you to take a picture of your home and then they will put the new floors in it so that you can see what the floors will look like in your home. So I decided to break my own rule and I figured, you know what? Why not just use the tool to see what these new colors are gonna look like? I basically set this up very scientifically using Sand Dune as my control because I already knew that I liked that color. I had the sample in person, so I knew exactly what it looked like. And then I just compared these new colors that I was interested in to Sand Dune, and I was pretty sure that one of them would be a winner. So just to make sure that the visualization tool could be trusted, I did use it to see what our old floors would look like in our old house, and I compared the images from the visualizer to the actual photos. And remember y'all, I said I obsessively selected these floors, and that was not an exaggeration. I might be dramatic, but I ain't a liar. The images were so spot on, and honestly, just based off of that, I was comfortable making my decision for the floors. Again, breaking my own rules, I know, but desperate times. Until I emailed my contact at Floor King to let them know, hey, these are the floors that I think I want. This is the color. I can't get any samples because it's brand new. They were like, oh, no problem. We'll just order it for you. Duh. They're a flooring company. Of course they can order samples. So not only were they able to get samples for me, they got big board samples. I'm so excited. These are flooring samples. After looking at a bunch of options, we narrowed it down to 3 different floors. And this is basically gonna be a no-brainer. This was kind of like our last ditch effort at picking out a floor. I got the 3 samples in. I thought that these 3 were going to look so similar to each other. You know, I'm gonna put the mood board on the screen right here that shows you what these 3 samples looked like on Mohawk's website so that you can understand why I ordered the samples that I did. As you can see, they all look just like each other and they look just like Sand Dune, my control, like the floor that we're trying to emulate. Wait until you see these. So first sample is the Sierra Sand Oak. I feel like this isn't really too bad. It seems like it's a little bit lighter, but like overall, very good. I like it. Sierra Sand Oak. You can stay for now. Next one is Sun Shower Oak. This one looks really, really gray to me. Oh my God, yeah, ugh, no. Gosh, especially when I lay it flat, like how it's important when you're looking at these flooring samples, don't just look at it vertical because your flooring is horizontal across your whole house. So you want to be looking at the flooring sample the same way that you're going to be looking at the flooring in your house. So like this super gray flooring right here, when it's up like this, I was like, kind of brown, kind of gray, like a grayish. But as soon as I put it down flat as if it was gonna be on the floor, it looks totally gray. So that's like an absolute no for me. This looks nothing like it did in the picture online, nothing at all. And then last one, Golden Hour Oak. This one looks nice and warm. This one, I actually really love this. Oh, but now, okay, so this is really tough. So after playing around with the different flooring in the visualization tool and using the large sample boards that Floor King sent me, I was able to narrow it down and pick these floors, which is Mohawk Revwood Premier in the color Golden Hour Oak. That's actually not right. That is incorrect. I went back and looked at the flooring that I ordered. I looked at the boxes. These are Mohawk Revwood Plus, not Premier. These are Plus. I got confused because one of the samples that I looked at early on and decided not to use was Revwood Premier in the color Golden Sand Oak. I got Plus in Golden Hour Oak. You see how that could be kind of confusing? So, yeah, I just wanted to correct that before the video is over because I was literally 5 minutes ago old when I realized that I have been saying the wrong name all year long. Mohawk Revwood Plus, Golden Hour Oak. So that is how I ended up with all of these samples, my large sample boards, and eventually the floors of my dreams. Every day when I walk around the house and as we add new furniture and change things up, I find myself just admiring how pretty our floors look. I am so in love with them, and I'm just really glad that I did what I needed to do to ensure that we would be happy with how they look and hopefully how they hold up long term. It still shocks me, but remember that like long list of requirements that I had for my floors? I didn't have to compromise on a single thing. I got my laminate planks in a long size, a light, warm oak wood tone, waterproof, durable, and they still came in under $5 a square foot. Even as we got down to the wire, somehow it all came together in the final weeks of our build so that we could meet our timeline for having the floors installed right after closing and right before we moved in. Speaking of installation, you guys are definitely not going to want to miss the next video because I'm walking you through the entire process, going over the pros and cons of DIYing your floors versus hiring it out. I will give you guys a full pricing breakdown, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know exactly when the video goes live, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, homies. We did it, we did it, we did it, yeah, we did it, we did it.